It's bright and early, and Eric and I are headed out to an estate sale. I hope it's going to be a good one. We've just arrived. We're in New Haven, Connecticut. Here's the house that we're about to enter. It is freezing cold out here, so I hope the house is heated. We're inside. There's a lot of interesting things and a lot of high prices. These masks are so interesting. I don't know anything about them. There's a great sofa here. And let's get a better look at this card catalog. It's really nice. It reminds me of the one in my library when I was a kid. Same look. It is $200. This blanket is really beautiful. It is $75. It has great colors, and of course, I love the bird. And here's another really nice one, also for $75. Here's the dining room. These decanters are very nice, very elegant, and I like the tray that they're on. Let's see what's in this corner cabinet. Very pretty pottery. They want $2,000 for it. This is an interesting print. This is $20. Now I'm in the living room space. I really like this lamp. It's $25, which is a fair price. I have recently picked up a very similar lamp. Here's a look outside in case you're curious. And this tray is pretty cool. I'm in the kitchen now. There's lots of jumbly piles. Let's see what's in the cabinets. Just typical kinds of glasses, a few mugs. Nothing is super calling to me in here right now. There are some interesting prints on this wall. A lot of bold colors in this house, which is interesting. This is kind of like a library room. There's lots of good books. These books are $2 for hard covers, $1 for paperbacks. Nice wide selection. Okay, we're gonna head upstairs and see what they have on the second floor. This is a very, very crowded estate sale. It's hard to maneuver. Here's a bedroom. These are interesting things on the wall. I don't know if these are from the theater or from movies. I'm in a bedroom now. I really like the screen behind that brass-toned bed. There's lots of interesting bits and pieces here. Some nice blankets. This rug is super unique. And now we're in like a closet/laundry space. Here's a price for all of the clothing articles. Just taking a quick peruse. Okay, we are headed out. That was crowded and crazy, and I'm glad to get the heck out of there. We're headed home to drop off Eric, and then I think I'm going to go to a second estate sale that's taking place in New Britain, Connecticut. It's not far from my house. I just arrived. I see the estate sale signs. I wonder what we'll find. This is a very pretty china set. Let's get a better look at this. It says CPO. I think that's Central Purchasing Office. Very nice. Oh, just so you know, the CPO or Central Purchasing Office back stamp in a diamond outline was a mark used for items sold to the Allied forces during the occupation of Japan following World War II. So from about 1945 until 1952. This is the first time I've seen one in the wild. There's lots of salt cellars here. It's a nice big collection of them. This is a beautiful ottoman. They want $200 for it. And these chairs are a really unique shape. These vases are beautiful. They're $250 for the pair. What is it with me and expensive estate sales today? $100 for the clock. Nice fireplace. There it is. I really like this stack of plates for $20. I think they're so pretty. These were made by Fitz and Floyd. I couldn't find any good comps for these on eBay. If they were $10, I would buy them, but for $20, I'm gonna leave them. And somebody's in line right now buying this beautiful Shelly tea set. This is so lovely. I just wanted to show it to you. There's more dinnerware here. This is a lot of china. Look at the pretty view outside. It's really beautiful. This is a Dansk set for $200. I find Dansk is borderline impossible to sell on eBay, so good luck to them. We've got some silverware happening here and a nice chest. This picture's very pretty. It's $80, but it reminds me of the Bronte sisters, doesn't it? Now I'm on the second floor. Here is a bedroom. Looks like for kids perhaps because of the twin beds. The bedding is very pretty. I don't generally pick up bedding for twin beds. This table's kind of cute. $40 on that. No screaming deals here today, but you know, there's some fair prices, and if you want stuff for your own collection, then the prices work just fine. It's an interesting little picture. $250 for these benches is more than I'm gonna pay. There's some Christmas stuff here. I don't know, the idea of storing Christmas stuff is not that appealing to me, but there are some really interesting ornaments here. I like this fish. It reminds me of that book, The Rainbow Fish. Zach used to love that book. This guy has a grumpy expression on his face. I'm going on down the hallway. This house is surprisingly large. Here's another bedroom. It's in a bit of a state. There's still some clothes in the closet. This color is very bright. And there's some nice built-in bookshelves over here. Nothing's really catching my eye, although I do like this rug. And there's a cute little dollhouse here. And just some bits and pieces on the shelf. That's an interesting picture. I'm thinking that I'm entering the master bedroom now. It's the largest bedroom of the group. And of course, it's just staged for the sale right now. This is a beautiful chair. $100 for this chair. Yeah, it's very pretty. I like the pattern on that. And tables full of stuff. Must be nice to sleep in a bedroom with a fireplace. I think I would enjoy that very much. And there's some built-ins here so it can be used as an office space. That must come in handy. It's nice to have cabinets where you can put away your mess if you want to. Of course, maybe they used it as an office and not as a bedroom. It's hard to tell. This chair is really interesting. It's a rocker. Let's see. $90 on this. And we have the bed. I've headed back downstairs. I'm in the kitchen. I'm just enjoying the view out the French doors. There's some more pretty china. This set is $80. Ugh. That's an interesting piece. I like the painting on that. So many people. Just checking out what's on this table. Lots of interesting little things. These glasses are $60. Okay, those prices were high, but there were some good things, and I'm happy with my finds. I'm looking forward to showing them when we get home. So let's talk about the estate sale that Eric and I went to in New Haven, Connecticut this morning. Spoiler alert, it is not going to go down in history as my all-time favorite estate sale. It was very crowded. Prices were really high. There were some bargains, and I did find some. It was pretty disorganized, and I would say the advertising was not exactly accurate. They had said there were 4 floors of antiques. There were no antiques, and the 4 floors included the basement and the attic, which, you know, technically I guess are floors. But when we think about floors, we tend to think about like main living spaces. So when they said 4 floors, I was thinking about one of those big old mansions in New Haven that actually have a first, second, third, and fourth floor.
This was a basement, a first floor, a second floor, and an attic. I mean, you know, if we're going to apply that criteria, then my house is 4 floors too, which I don't consider it to be. So yeah, yeah, not our favorite. When we got in, we saw that the prices were really high. There were traffic jams of people trying to check out because they had placed the cashier right by the door. It was a scene, but despite all of the mayhem, I managed to find some good things. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering about this rainbow effect behind me, it's because my lamps all have prisms, and at this time of day, they cast rainbows all over the room. It's actually really pretty. It might look weird on camera, so let's just try to move past it. Oh, I should tell you, I spent $125 for everything. And today, for the first time ever, I am recording exactly what I spent in a notebook so I can track my profit margins. I should have been doing that long ago, but better late than never, right? So anyway, I bought this adorable little miniature. This is so cute. I love how little it is. And it is an exact size reproduction of an original watercolor painting. And apparently an artist in England used brush down to 1 bristle in size to paint this with unbelievable detail. So even though they're calling it a print, it's really a miniature painting. And it's signed and everything. It's so sweet. And I love little pieces like this because you can put them, in addition, of course, to putting them in a wall on their own in a small space, or in a gallery kind of grouping, you can also put these in shelves, lean them up on windowsills. They can just do so many different things that larger scale artwork can't do. And of course, if you're like me, I have a house with a lot of rooms, but I have a lot of paintings and things already, so I don't always have a lot of room for new things. Something like this can always find a good home. And it's got that nice sort of English manor house feeling. So I really liked that. I also loved, oh my gosh, and I'm thinking about where I could put this myself, but I think I'm gonna sell it. It's this great frog print. And this guy is so interesting because I think it was scissors cut and then matted into this frame. The back of it's pretty shot actually. But I don't know if you can see if I hold it like this. I don't think you can, but like the cut part sort of protrudes out a little bit. It gives it a slightly 3D effect. I don't think it's coming across well here. It's also great colors for my guest bathroom on the 2nd floor. That was the cat. But it gets awfully steamy in there. I don't know that this would make it. I might give it a try just for the heck of it. But I thought that was a really just different, unique piece of artwork. I loved this piece. It's like a little coastal scene, so pretty. And of course, being winter in Connecticut, the idea of warmth and ocean and beach is too fabulous for words. So this is of Stonehole Bay. This was made by Jill Amos Rains. So this is original artwork. I'm sorry about the glare that we're getting here, but this is an original piece. And this is Bermuda, which I love Bermuda. Been there twice. I wish I were in Bermuda right now. Doesn't that sound so good? But I can't be in Bermuda right now, but I can at least look at this beautiful framed artwork and remember it. So that was, I thought, a nice piece. I also bought, this is a big guy, so I'll do my best to show this to you. This is a print. So it looks a lot like a watercolor, but it's actually a print. And I loved the boats in this, the mountains in the background, the kind of primary colors. It's a nice big size. The frame is really nice on this and the matting. So I picked this up, and here's the back in case you're interested. Trying not to smack myself in the head. That's the back. So I thought this was really interesting. So all of these things are going to be on my eBay store, I believe. I'm selling them, let's put it that way. And the last thing I picked up was a Julia Child cookbook. I love Julia Child. I pick up her cookbooks when I can. This is volume 2 of the classic Mastering the Art of French Cooking. And this is a first edition. So I don't think I've ever had a first edition of volume 2 before. I did once have a first edition of volume 1, and I do currently have a signed cookbook from Julia Child, not Mastering the Art French Cooking. It was a more recent, a later day cookbook that she made. And I haven't listed it because I can't decide what to list it for. I don't know what I should price a signed Julia Child cookbook at. So it's just sort of in my death pile of things that need to be sold that I don't know what to do with right this minute. That pile tends to grow, friends, I'm not gonna lie. I'll get to it someday. The last 2 pieces of artwork I picked up were these lovely framed floral prints with really nice matting. These are so pretty, and I love artwork like this because it looks gorgeous in every space in your house. You could put this in a dining room, in a kitchen, bedroom, a hallway. It always looks right. It doesn't take up too much room. It gives some color, and it's kind of a nice classic look. And they're not too big again, so they fit sort of anywhere. So these are reproductions. These were from the Metropolitan Museum of Art, actually. And the artist was Pierre-Joseph Redoute, which I'm sure I'm saying wrong. He was a Belgian artist who lived from 1759 to 1840. And this was originally a stipple engraving in color made around 1827. This was the same methodology. So interesting. I'm not familiar with that artist, but I thought these were really beautiful, and I think they could look elegant in somebody's home. I also really like, I don't know if you can see, there's this gold accent right around the matting. And those kinds of small details really matter. For the rest of what I'm going to show you, I think we're going to do something we don't often do. I think we're going to go into the laundry room because I don't want to bring these clothing articles and textiles down into a space where they might be vulnerable to kitty claws. So let's go upstairs. We're going to go up the unfinished stairs to the second floor. And here is the guest bathroom. I really think of this as Zach's bathroom, if I'm honest. But you can see it has the original floors and a weird white piece of paper. These are from the 1920s. It has the original tub. And I found the shower curtain that I thought blended really well with the floor. I wish I could find another one so I could make curtains. It has an old sink on the old metal legs. And I love this fabulous mirror that hides the medicine cabinet, but it has so much damage. I have not been able to find a way to restore this. I'd love to bring it to somebody to have it re-silvered, but I can't seem to find anybody who does that work. So if you have any suggestions on what I could do, I really don't want to replace it. This is kind of old. And I love how it's sort of engraved or etched or whatever on the top. I think that's such a pretty detail. And of course it fits the space perfectly. So if you have any thoughts on how I could address that, please let me know. I know so many of you are really, really good at coming up with solutions to some of these pesky problems that really flummox me. But that's not why we're here. We're here to see how this little frog picture looks in this space. And actually, I think it's just pulling different color greens. So I think it's not actually good here. And I would be worried about the paper getting damaged anyway, as I mentioned before. So interesting thought, but I think, yeah, we'll be selling this guy. I'm holding it up to the shower curtain so you can get a better sense of the colors. I think no. And honestly, I think if I'm gonna put something here, and bear in mind, it will be hidden by the door, so it's not ideal under any circumstances. I think I would prefer to have something with maybe a little bit more color and more complementary colors. Let me know what you think in the comments. I always love to get your suggestions. Oh, and by the way, I have a friend. Indy, wanna say hi? Here he is. Oh. And of course, the minute I move upstairs, all the friends want to join me. So here's Miss Iris, ready for her chance to jump in on the action. Oh, she's so cute. And now we're gonna have a moment of real life. This is a lot to share. Please don't kill me in the comments. I'm gonna show you the laundry room, and I'd like to tell you that it doesn't usually look like this, but I would be lying. Let's take a look. So here's the laundry room. Holy moly. This is a rough room. So what do I have going on in this room, you might wonder? So this is actually a bedroom that we converted into a laundry room because when I moved into this house just a few years ago, it'll be, I think 5 years this summer. No, 4 years this summer. Oh gosh, I can't even remember. Anyway, the laundry was in the basement and that was a hard no for me because our basement stairs are so narrow. I was not gonna carry big loads of laundry down those narrow stairs. It was just not happening. So Eric kindly made this into a laundry room, and I actually air dry most of my clothes. So that's why we have 2 drying racks. I've been catching up on some laundry, and I usually just have the one big one in the back, but this time I have 2 because I just had that much more laundry to do. In the back, you'll see I have this white sheet draped over. This is actually not a generic sheet. This is for photography specifically. And this is where I do my eBay shoots. I have these irons, these antique irons here so that the sheet doesn't slide around when I'm trying to take pictures. It just holds everything in place. And the sheet is tucked behind a picture. It's a really nice picture actually right behind here, but it's holding up the sheet for now. And then I have my lighting so that I can have a little bit of a better photograph. Honestly, photographs come out so much better in the daytime than at night, but sometimes night is all I have. In theory, this gate leg table, which is really fabulous despite the cords, should be a folding table for the laundry. That's what it was before I started doing a lot of eBay listing. But life has changed and so has the table. In these boxes exist my eBay death pile. That means stuff that I need to put on eBay, but it's like it has issues, it needs to be repaired, or I'm not sure what to do with it, so I hold it in these boxes for now. I have another whole pile of stuff here that I need to deal with. This box, this is all the death pile. These books need to be listed. This is a little bit of Bennington pottery that I need to move up into the attic. And yeah, just boxes. This is all eBay stuff. And this is all eBay stuff that I haven't listed yet because I'm waiting to show the video, but the haul is so big, I haven't been able to face it. I'm thinking maybe in another 2 weeks, I will show that video. I told you, real life. You know, sometimes people will say, oh, I love your house. And I think, if only you saw the whole thing. This is why I haven't done a full house tour as well, because our house works so hard for us. I have eBay things all over the place, and just sometimes it's a disaster. I don't know. I'm really comfortable showing real life, but I'm afraid of hate comments, so I don't. Would you like to see the house in its like true state? If you would, let me know. Again, I don't mind showing it. I just don't want people to beat me up in the comments. Okay, this is one of the things I want to show you is this beautiful wool blanket. This guy is really a beauty. I love the sort of burnt orange color. It has the nice blanket stitching around the bottom. And this was made in the USA. It's 100% wool. Here is the tag. Let me show that to you. Oops, here it is. So this was made by Faribault Wooden Mill Company. And this was made in the US somewhere. Does it say that? Yeah, made in USA. There we go. I took this blanket right off the bed because it really caught my eye. This is at least for a full bed, maybe a queen. I'll have to take some measurements. I'll include those in the listing, but I love well-made blankets and I thought this one was really nice. I also picked up this gorgeous sweater. Oh, this sweater is so beautiful. And of course, as always, the camera doesn't do it justice. Can you see all the stitching in this? This was made in Ireland. I really love this. 100% wool. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that name, but these sweaters listed really nicely. They had a nice sell-through rate on eBay. So this I think is a men's large. It's got a nice roll neck. I will be listing this. This is a beauty. In case you're wondering, this is where Indy is now. He's moved over to knocking off my socks. You know what? Socks don't break. So if this is how he wants to spend his time, I'm okay with it. I also bought this beautiful men's cashmere sweater. This is such a nice gauge. I don't usually find cashmere this thick out in the wild. Oh, I'm all blurry. Let me see if I can back up a little and get you this tag. Nope, I don't know why this won't come up for me. Move up higher. Yeah, I don't know if you're seeing this, but it says Coxmore of England, 100% pure cashmere, made in England, 44-inch, 112 centimeters. Please don't make me do meter math. I really don't want to. But this is beautiful. I love camel. I think it's so classic and elegant. This is in wonderful condition, and the reason why, like I said, I'm not showing it to you downstairs is because I'm keeping this cat free. And the last one I picked up was this beautiful sweater. This was made in Scotland. You know I love Scotland. I really wish these tags were coming up better. I'm going to try to get a shot of this differently so you can see it. But it says Waverley Knitters Limited, 100% pure cotton, made in Scotland. And it has this beautiful color, this really nice knit. And I am going to keep this, of course, up here away from the cats so it stays damage free. I think one little claw maneuver and this sweater's all done. So I'm keeping it safe. We'll say goodbye to the back side of Indy now. He is still having fun. And, oh my gosh. And we are gonna move into one last room. We're in the second floor hallway right now. And we're gonna move into the study. I used to use this to do all of my work in, but since Wilson can't come into the second floor anymore, I now work in the dining room. I miss working in this space. It was nice to have my mess a little bit contained. Things that are down here are things that are going to be pickups from eBay. And now we're in the master bedroom. I've moved into the master bedroom, so of course kitties have followed me. You can't see Indy. He's way in the back of Eric's closet. Wherever I go, they also go. Here's my Amish quilt and the pillows from my bed because I need to change the sheets. And here is the really nice polo pullover that we also bought. Eric found all of these sweaters in the attic space. There was a cedar closet and he went through it and he found these things. He wants to keep this for himself. So I've already washed this and this is living in his closet now. I didn't go up to the attic because my hands were so full of things. I just couldn't maneuver anymore. And I would have gone to the car and put all of my stuff away and then come back to the house. But the line was so long and it was so chaotic. Honestly, friends, I just couldn't face it. Eric told me there really was nothing good up in the attic or basement anyway. He had picked out what was worth picking and I totally trust his judgment. So I passed on those things. I would have liked to have checked them out. I would have liked to show them to you, but like I said, that estate sale was nuts and I had to get out of there. So now we will head downstairs. There's two different ways to get to the master bedroom. This is the back stairway. The master bedroom was an addition sometime in the 1920s or 30s. And now we're in the kitchen. Wait for it. You're gonna be horrified. Whoa, big boxes and a big dog. Yep, some days this is just how we roll. I think Wilson is guarding the boxes. Actually, these boxes are making him very anxious. And when Eric brought them into the house last night, this guy almost had a heart attack. He is a very delicate flower. So we try to keep this house as calm as we can for him, but sometimes big boxes happen. You'll see what's in these boxes, by the way, in another video. I had so much success at the estate sale in New Britain today. And I'm really pleased because I didn't have high hopes for it. It started at 8 o'clock in the morning and I didn't get there till 10. So when you do that, you really kind of take a chance on whether or not all of the good stuff will be gone. But I was so lucky because there was still good stuff left. And I was so excited to pick it up. So I'm just gonna start with what's on top. I picked up this really beautiful blanket. This is such a nice blanket. It's got nice stitching all along the edges. Can you kind of see that? I think that's actually called blanket stitching, is it not? And this was made by Restoration Hardware, made in Greece. I am not sure the exact size of this, but of course I will put the size on my listing because I'll be listing this on eBay. But look at the nice condition that this is in. I love the light yellow color. I think it will match with everything. In fact, I could probably use this blanket myself. Ugh, I just threw it, but no, I'm gonna be a good girl and I'm gonna sell it. So I was excited to find that for $10. And then I got a few articles of clothing. But before I even go that much further, I just want to say this was such a pretty house. The whole neighborhood was really pretty. The house was surprisingly large. Indy's in my bag. The house was surprisingly large. Every time I thought I had seen it all, there was another room, there was another corridor, there was another closet. So there was lots of space. And because the house was so big, it was much easier for people to pass by each other and not crowd each other than it can be in some of these houses that are just on the smaller scale. So I really appreciated that. And I say that because, you know, estate sales are an incredibly mixed bag. Sometimes they're wonderful, sometimes they are really not wonderful. You get all variations on all different kinds of experiences. But back to the clothes. So I picked up a few things. I picked up this really pretty Vineyard Vines pullover in this pretty aqua color. This is a large and it's in really nice shape. I'm wondering if this is a man's pullover or a woman's pullover. I am not sure. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research because it seems very big for a woman's. So I'm not sure, but I will look into that. Then I bought, I'm gonna keep this for myself actually. This is just a really pretty, I'm having trouble getting this situated. It's just a really pretty, like, I don't know, what would you call this? Like a poncho. Just a nice little light layer that you can throw over for some extra warmth. So it's not a particular size. I love blue. There was no tag or anything in this at all. So I couldn't tell you who made it, but I'm gonna keep it, so it doesn't matter. Did I tell you the Vineyard Vine top was $5? This was $5. And then I bought this one, which is the same kind of thing. It's like a poncho. It's like just kind of a thing you throw over for extra warmth. Here it is. I was looking for the part where your head goes. Here it is. And this is a beautiful kind of periwinkle blue color. So I think this will look nice on me. You'll probably see this in a future haul video. And again, no make or mark on this. I don't know, make or mark, listen to me, no tag. So I don't know who made it, but for $5, I'm keeping it. Okay, then I have just a few more things to show you actually. Well, maybe I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna save this for later, so hang on with that. I bought this really pretty, this looks like a painting. I think this is lovely. So this is a sunflower painting that's matted and framed. I think sunflowers are really cheerful. Such a pretty flower, late summer, early fall. And this says, framed with True View Museum glass. Okay, so this was professionally framed. So I do really think that this is an oil painting. There is no signature on this, but it's very sweet. What did I pay for this? I think I paid $10. Oh gosh, it's so hard to remember. I think it was around $10. Might have been $5. I just can't tell you. And then I grabbed a little stack of Limoges plates. These are really, really pretty. So I stay away from buying singleton Limoges plates because they take forever and a day to sell. But if I have a stack of 4 to 6 plates, those tend to move along really nicely. So I think I paid $5 for these. I am the worst. Why I can't remember numbers, I could not tell you. But these have such a beautiful rim. I hope you're getting a real sense of that. I am always fighting the light, but I think that's lovely. This is a Theodore Haviland. It says Limoges, France, and then it says Spa on the back. Now, there were no other pieces. It was just these plates. So it's possible that this was part of a greater set and somebody who got there before me picked up the other pieces, or maybe the owner just had one little stack for dessert or for whatever, dessert, lunch, and this was it. I don't know what the deal was, but I was really happy to find those. Okay, and then I'm going to show you what I went back and forth on. So I found these cups and saucers. There is a set of 4. You can see they're like white and gray and beige, just kind of clean and classic looking. And when you look at the back, it says Arabia, Finland, Sala. So these are really nice. These were made in Finland. There weren't a lot of comps for these because they're hard to come by. So I found that just one cup alone went for around, I think I saw it went for $21. I have 4 cups and 4 saucers in perfect condition. So when I first went up to the register to try to figure out a price, I was told that the price was $20 and I didn't want to pay $20, and I tried to negotiate down. The seller wouldn't the person working at the register, she wouldn't negotiate down. She said $20 was a fair price. I thanked her and I was going to put them back. And right before I did, I checked my comps using my eBay app. And I'm so glad I did that, because when I saw what they were worth, which she clearly already knew, I thought, you know what? I'm not going to put these back. I'm going to take them. These are a nice find. I have never sold this brand before, so it will be fun to try it. And so I ended up going back and saying, I am going to take them after all. So I didn't put them back. I didn't want to leave them behind once I realized that they were comping pretty well. But I think ultimately they were a good find. And even though I went back and forth, I'm glad I decided to go for it in the end. There were a few other things that I considered. I looked closely at, it was a whole box full of like a red and white china. It was made in England. I can't remember the name of the manufacturer. There was a platter that I had looked at and brought to the register just to see what they were asking for the whole set. They were asking $40, and I felt like $40 was a fair price. But as I dug through the box, I just saw so many cups and saucers. And I know I just bought cups and saucers. But when you get like a whole china set that also includes a million cups and saucers, those can just take a long time to sell, and those can be hard to store. So I probably made a mistake. I probably should have bought the box, but I just didn't want to deal with it. Isn't that awful? I sound so lazy. I think it was the cups and saucers. If it had just been like plates and bowls and platters, I would have done it. It was the cups and saucers that put me off. And I just thought, like, I don't want to drag these home. I don't want to have to wash them. I don't want to have to photograph them. I don't want to list them. I don't want to have to store them. It's too much. Probably not my smartest move, but it was the move that I made. And I will tell you, I am so happy with what I ultimately bought. And I'm trying to think of what I spent. I think I spent $40, and then I went back for the cups and saucers for an additional $20. So I think I paid $60 total. We'll see how things do. I hope to get some good sales. I will be listing everything. I'm not keeping anything except those 2 sweaters, those like shawls I showed you, or ponchos, I guess they are, right? Because they go over your head entirely. Is that like a poncho? What would you call that? It's a poncho. poncho, right? If it goes like all around, and then if it hangs like open, more like open, then it's a shawl. Yes? Please let me know in the comments. I'm obviously confused. I need to know a little bit more vocabulary around my articles of clothing, obviously. So that's what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me a comment if you'd like. I love to hear from you. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a great day, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.